So, your name, sir?
David Lokstad,
Where are you from, David?
in Fulton, Minnesota.
Okay. And what'd you do before you went into service?
Oh, I done a little everything, I guess.
You were working at Arctic Cat.
I was working at Arctic Cat, yeah, and
Do you remember what years that was?
68, 69, 1968,
You
1969.
probably worked there the same time I did.
Well, I probably did. You look familiar, but I don't want to say that.
I had hair then.
Yeah, what?
And this lovely woman to your left is
My wife, Judy.
very good.
Yeah.
And so,
And she is a lovely woman in more ways than one.
yeah. And so, what happened? You were an Arctic Cat? Did you get drafted then, or
Yep.
got your notice? Okay. And you went in the Army.
Yep.
Where'd you go to basic training?
Fort Lewis, Washington.
Fort Lewis, Washington. Take the train out there?
I don't know. Took an airplane.
Yeah.
I think you took a plane.
Took a plane.
I did.
I think you took the plane, yeah.
Yeah, because most of us had to go by train.
I don't ever remember him mentioning a train.
Okay. So we planned, and you probably flew into Spokane, Tacoma.
No, I got it on the,
Seattle.
It don't matter. But anyway, you got the basic training. And you remember anything about basic training?
it was hot, miserable, soaking wet, day after day.
Made you run.
What?
They made you run.
Oh, run, yeah, I'd never run a day in my life before, you know. And I had to run and run and run.
Okay. And did you ever see Mount Rainier?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Every morning it went foggy, right? Okay.
Yep.
What's some of the stuff you did?
What's that?
What's some of the things you did, like rifle range or?
I was a heavy equipment operator,
Okay.
so whatever that entailed, well, that's what I did.
So where did you go to train to be a heavy equipment operator?
Your next place was Fort Ord.
Fort Ord, California, yeah.
Fort Ord, okay, yeah. And, but let's go back to basic training a little bit. Did you go to a firing range, shoot a rifle?
Oh, yeah.
You remember what kind of rifle it was?
16 and 14, or what was that, 14.
M14, M16? Okay. How did you qualify? Were you expert, marksman?
Expert,
Heck, you were expert. You're lucky you didn't become a sniper.
Yeah, I am.
So,
I aimed at something and I hit it.
yep,
I still do.
still do, huh? Yeah. So did you get any shots or anything while you're in there? Shot in the arms or?
Must have been 100 of them.
Seemed like it, didn't it?
I don't know.
Was meningitis going around when you were there?
Yep,
Yep, you had to keep the windows open so far? Or?
yep,
Yeah.
wide open, the bottom.
Yep. Top one down, bottom one up?
Yep.
Yeah. So, did you go through graduation then after basic training?
Yep.
And then flew to Fort Ord? Did you get to come home in between?
I don't know, I did.
No, you didn't.
No,
He went direct.
right to Fort Ord. How long were you in Fort Ord?
Oh, I don't know. Man, you're bringing back things and all, I don't even know.
I feel like it was 8 weeks.
But,
Probably 8
yeah,
weeks.
it was about 2 months.
And they showed you how to run a cat and all that stuff, or?
I knew how to run the cat. Yeah.
Okay, so,
I drove a big truck, 5-ton, whatever it was.
yeah, 5-ton. There was deuce and a half, 5-ton, yeah.
Yeah,
So, then you get orders for Vietnam then?
yep.
Get to come home for a couple weeks, month or
I think
something?
I did come home for
14 days, I think.
14 days, yeah.
Okay, so then you go where, to Oakland,
California, yeah.
California, fly out of there to Vietnam?
Yep.
You remember the route you took to get there?
I don't have any idea.
Is that when you landed in Hawaii or when you landed in Alaska?
What that was Hawaii. I went to Hawaii.
Hawaii, then if it's the same route I took, it was Hawaii, Wake Island, Okinawa, and then Vietnam.
Yep.
And I remember,
Sounds like,
yep, landing in Okinawa and they opened the door and you went,
no, we went, I'm gonna die.
just like that, like that. Yeah. So then you get to Vietnam.
Suit was soaking wet and
Yep.
had, what do you call them things? Your shirt, you know, that's full of holes. It wasn't bullet holes, it was just ventilated. or
Ventilated,
whatever,
yep.
You know, and I was
Yep.
soaking wet.
So where did you land in Vietnam? Do you remember? It was Cam Bay, Long Binh?
Well, you got it on them letters.
Yeah, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
I wrote letters, that's the homesick letter.
It was probably Long Binh. Lots of times you
Benoit, I think it.
could have been
farther
Benoit.
north.
Further north?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were there not very long, right?
Nope.
And then where'd you go? You remember?
No, I don't.
You remember where you served in Vietnam? What you did?
First Air Cavalry Division.
Oh, you were the first Cav. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And they started up north, went south, and then started back up north again.
Oh, yeah, we went, yeah, we landed, oh, this is trouble. But we landed in LZ Evans, Camp Evans. And then we went from there wherever we went. But I know it was Camp Evans because it was on top of a mountain. And, gee. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So were you building roads or what were you doing?
Well, we did, and yeah, when I got landed, and we got helicopters brought in, bulldozers, and I don't know what all they brought, scrapers, MRS, I think they were called, motorized road scrapers, and but anyway, we started building on top of mountain. What was that mountain?
You said Evans.
Evans, yeah. No, but that was the fort. That was the,
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know the number, name that.
So were you building an LZ landing zone
Yep.
or that's what you're building? Okay.
Yep.
And so you'd clear all the brush
Push all
and
the
everything?
trees down,
up
and
trees?
then had a flat area there that were, so they could land the helicopter, or you could land, well, we had motorized road scrapers that we bring in piece by piece. You know, there was, I think they come in 3 pieces. And, yeah, there were 3 pieces because it was the front part, which had the motor and the bucket together. And then there was the third, or the second part that was, oh man, I don't know. But that was,
Did they have infantry protecting you when you were there or?
supposedly,
Suppo-
we got attacked. Yeah. We got shot at. Yeah.
So,
Every letter he wrote, he talked about Peneprime, and what was the other
Oh
thing?
yeah, we had a Peneprime rack, where it was like tar. And then they'd run through wherever much it took to get mixed with the dirt. And then we leveled that out. We had scrapers and picked up dirt, you know, and flattened out the whole big area there.
so how long did that take you? You remember how long it took you?
Well,
To do something like that?
Probably.
What was it?
2 months, they said.
2 months?
I
Yeah.
wrote her letters all the time crying.
Were you married at the time? Still,
Engaged.
Huh?
We were engaged.
We were engaged, though, we weren't married.
had to be kind of frightful for you, huh?
I was too young and dumb to realize what was going on. And that's the truth.
That's the truth, yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
No, she was good to me. I had a lot of issues. I was the only boy at home, and mom was left alone. My dad had died, and I don't know what else was at home there. Oh, yeah, we had sheep, and
It was here in New Fulton?
yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, that was a tough on mom and tough on me, and the army didn't give a shit.
No. Did you spend a year in Vietnam then?
15 months.
You
Or
extended?
what was it?
15 months.
So you extended for 3 months,
Yep. I wanted to get out of service.
so you get out early?
Enough was enough.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even leave on R&R because he said he wouldn't come back.
No, I wasn't going back.
Yeah.
Red dirt and dirty all the time, and no. Tell
Yeah.
you what, that was not what I wanted to do at all, and I wasn't going back to it, you know. So
So do you remember where you went to get out of Vietnam? Cameron Bay, maybe?
up north, we were up. What the heck was that place called?
Da Nang?
I got letters, all kinds of letters, but oh, what the heck? What was the name of
I
that
don't
place?
remember that, David.
Lot of GIs flew out of Cameron Bay.
Well, Cameron Bay we flew into.
Yep,
We
okay,
didn't fly out of there.
okay. Long Bend, maybe, I don't know.
Benoit.
Benoit,
I remember.
Benoit might be it, yeah. Yep.
So,
So then you flew back into Oakland, California then, or,
yep.
and did you get a steak supper?
Yeah, we got a steak supper, all right. Oh, yeah.
The first thing that happened, that he told me about, was that they got on this bus to go from the airport to wherever they were going. And the bus driver told them he'd get them there in short order.
Oh, yeah.
And he ran a red light
Yep,
and killed a guy.
killed the guy.
The bus driver did?
The bus driver did.
Yep,
And these guys not only saw that, but they had to,
yep. I was in the third seat back, and all I can remember is that guy put up his hands like this and just like that, dead.
and
So
that.
he was in the bus,
He
he
was,
he was a
in the
GI?
bus. David was in the GI bus,
Yep.
coming home
so he's from Vietnam
from
and got killed in a
Vietnam,
bus
and this
accident?
other guy got killed right there.
Wow.
And he saw it. And that was,
That sucks, yeah.
yeah.
Never forget that.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember about it. That guy turned, put his hands up like this, and that was the end of everything. Yep,
Oof,
that was like yesterday.
And then everybody was so happy to see them home, you know, that they threw things at them.
Oh, yeah, that was something else too.
The what?
They
They-
threw,
Go ahead.
they threw stuff at them. What all did they throw?
What, protesters or?
Yeah,
Okay, so they ran into some protesters when they got home. You were
Yeah.
still in your uniform?
Baby killers and whatever
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
yeah, it was right there in California,
right.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not good back then.
No, I never realized at the time that that would have an effect on me like it did, but even to this day, you know, I get that anger in me and I could go and kill a whole bunch. I mean, that's the way I feel. I could just go. I don't know if you could ever feel that way, but that's the way I was.
Yeah,
I was out there, I risked my life, you know, and dumb. That was dumb.
yep,
That's the way it was. And I don't know, I have no time even yet to them guys. So,
So you get back to Newfoundland, what did you do?
I went farming.
How many years did you farm?
I farmed, well, I'm still farming.
Still farming?
Yeah.
Well, rentable farming now.
And I was, like I say, I was in the Army, so I had time to serve yet. But, yeah.
But one thing he did do, he got the Bronze Star from Meritorious Service.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a time when he had an old truck and kept it in such good condition. And so they praised him for this, and then he was in trouble with the GIs because he
Oh,
had
yeah.
set a higher example, and
Oh,
I set an example and these other guys didn't like
he
it.
was working too hard.
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Hard to be from the Midwest, wasn't it?
so that was something he always talked about.
So, anything you want to tell us about your Bronze Star? How you received it?
well, I did my job. Yeah. And that wasn't so good at times, I mean, it was tough. I don't know, where did I get that Bronze Star? I got all the record stuff,
It was
but
in the summer of '69, like July, I think, that I remember it.
Okay. So, anything you'd have done different, David, while you're in the service? Other than not go?
if there's something I would have done,
Something you would like to have done different than what you did during your military career?
well, I'm glad I served my country. That I am. And I still got an anger for the guys that don't. I don't know how you sit with that or not, but if I could, I'd go beat the pulp out of them. I mean,
The ones that protested.
the ones that protested and were fighting, against us as a unit, as a,
The Jane Fondas of the world.
Yeah.
it makes me mad to this day. I just boil.
Yeah.
He believes in the military so much that he talked two of our sons and one of our daughters into it, so
Did they?
Yeah.
we still have a daughter that's in the reserves.
Good.
Serve our country, and by golly, that's what you do.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't know how you think about it, but that's the way I feel.
So,
We got our freedom because of what's we done.
right.
It sounds dumb, you get in trouble and you do dumb things but that's how we got our freedom. By these guys that got killed and had a,
Some gave all.
Ah,
Yeah. Some gave all.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, anything you want to add about your military career, David?
Well, I don't know what to add. I mean, I feel like I've done my job and I've done my service to the country, and I believe in that 100%. And I believe everybody should, by some manner, serve the country.
Grow up.
Yep.
You're not the only one to have said that. And I've done a lot of these interviews, and there's a lot of them that feel the same way.
Yep.
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 A lot of us that feel the same way, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, David, I want to thank you for doing this interview, and thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for spending time to take the time to listen to whatever dumb things I had to say.
Yep.
But
Thank you,
I was
Judy.
in the First Air Cavalry, but I never had to jump out of a airplane. But I did have to jump out of the truck and hit the ground.
Hit the ground running?
Yep.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I had good people that were all around me. I had good friends, I got nothing but good to say about those guys. And some of those guys died, you know, that were my buddies.
Mhm.
And there's nothing to do to get them back, you know.
So David, when you were in the service, did you know any other people from around here?
Yeah, I had, what was his name?
Kenny Biergard?
Huh?
Kenny Biergard, you mean?
Kenny Burger, yeah, and then,
Oh, Kenny Biergard.
yeah, and who was the other guys? There was 3 guys.
Oh, I don't know, he's the one I remember.
Wally Hobbs,
Oh, Wally Hobbs was your friend, yeah.
yeah, and,
And they went in the same time as you, or you,
yeah,
Wally Hobbs,
Well-
he met there.
yeah. But Wally Hobbs was a goofy guy.
He can watch.
You know what, I'll tell you what, something, and you just take it the way you want. He reminds me of you, or you remind him, or me of him. You know, and he, the one thing I never forget about him, he'd come up
so
to
you're
you-
calling me goofy?
He'd come up, you know, and he'd do these dumb things, you know, like, and one of the things that he always did is that he'd come up behind you and he'd put his hands well and go, ah, I'm coming to get you, you know.
Okay, I've done that once in a while. Usually to my wife, but
Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, he was, Wally Hobbs, yeah.
But Kenny Biergard was from here, and he ran into him there.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
I didn't go with him. I went with Wally Hobbs, you know, and around.
right.
Associated with him there, but Kenny Biergard was, he was just the guy that I met. You
While
know.
you're over there, I
And
think
I
he's
knew him.
wasn't he from Warren?
He was from Vikings, so.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
probably went on a
Never, so,
All right. Anything else you want to add?
well, I don't know, there's so many things I think about that I can't think about them all.
That's what most people, once they do these interviews, they go home and say, "Why did I say that?"
Yeah,
It's all right.
well, for dumb, you know, but it isn't. That's what I feel. I feel that it was not dumb. It was, I don't know
A
what
duty.
to call it.
I remember his reaction when they let Vietnam go. That was not good.
Yeah.
All his friends that had died.
Yeah.
It was
nothing.
tough to take. It still is. We did kill over there and died for no reason at all. That's what happened. That's what it seemed anyway at the time. And still it is that way. That was a total
You were one of the
waste,
lucky ones.
waste of life.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what,
We just can't get along. Well, thank you for the interview, David, and thank you for your service.
yeah. I did the best I could.
Yep. Thank you, Judy.